Hola, DragonCrafters! This is Warcrow from DragonCraft Productions, and this is DragonCraft Gaming Talk. Today we're gonna be talking about Resident Evil 4, and more specifically, Professional Mode. Now, I know this is an old game, but I recently replayed it on the PC version, the PC port of it, and I had really a blast playing through that game, but mostly on normal, not a professional mode. I didn't have not enough fun on professional mode. We will get there. I will explain everything that I experienced in professional mode and in Resident Evil in general. Now, Resident Evil is a franchise that has been long established. It is one of the best horror uh, games genres in gaming history, in gaming universe, and it's a fantastic game. Resident Evil 4 took the world by surprise by completely changing how the controls work, making it to a more of a survival horror genre rather than the previous installments. Now, Resident Evil 4, I played it first in PS2, PlayStation 2. I loved it. I really had a lot of fun playing that game. But back then, I was just a wimpy little kid who'd only play games on easy. And when I played it on normal, because it didn't have a difficulty for easy, it really, yeah, it's like, oh my god, I have to play this on normal? Why? I'm the easy kid, right? So anyways, I went ahead and completed the game back then, had a fun, and then just put the game controller down, and that was it. Now, years later, I was gifted Resident Evil 4 from a friend and said, you know what, I'm gonna play this game. Why not? It's a PC version, it's a remastered, so to speak. It's now runs on 60 FPS. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna play this game, just relive one of my childhood games. Because when I played it, I was really like 14, 15 years old. It's like, I'm gonna play it again, just for the lol, see how well it is, and just remember this old fantastic game. When I played it first on normal, I knew the basic story, yes, but I enjoyed it nonetheless. The graphics were absolutely fantastic, the sound was equally good, so just went on and played the game as I went on. Now, I didn't exactly remember how to play the game, meaning that you have to gather the treasures and then combine them. I didn't combine any treasures, almost any treasures on normal mode, and I just sold them as it is. Then I found out that you have to combine them, and then I started combining the treasures. Sorry. So when I did that, of course, my weapons weren't as highly powerful as they should have been. If I was playing for real, if I knew what the hell to do in this fucking game. I didn't, and I suffered from it, especially on normal. A lot of the bosses were really hard because of it, but I loved the overall experience. And then I said, you know what, I'm gonna play this on professional mode, on hard mode. And I did. And I was extremely, extremely disappointed in that. Now, I know it's an old game, I do realize that, but when you play something on hard mode, doesn't necessarily mean that you only take more damage and that's it. That's the hardest thing that you can do in a game. And I was really disappointed in that. That was exactly what I was dealing with when I was playing professional mode. The bosses, most of the bosses, I one-shotted. The first boss, Delago, Chief Mendes, Vertigo, the presumably optional boss in Resident Evil 4, I one-shotted. Salazar, I one-shotted. Well, actually I died once, but I died because of a game bug. I dodged the attack, but the game didn't recognize it, so yeah, as I was dodging it, I could see that I was dodging the attack somehow hit me, even though I clearly dodged it, and I died. That's okay, shit happens. But just hear this out. I have played almost the entire thing, most of the game, I have played it, and I one-shotted most of the bosses, especially Vertigo. When I played Vertigo on normal, I died 3 times just to get the feel of the boss, just to get the mechanics. I loved that boss, and I really wanted to do it on hard mode, and then just beat it and feel really, really enthusiastic about it. That didn't happen. I one-shotted Vertigo and I was really disappointed in that. Sure, yes, my weapons were as they should have been, because I did play them for real. I did upgrade them, I did everything that I could to stay up to date, but still I hated the fact that it was so bloody easy. Once you get the mechanics down, it's extremely easy to beat the game. That's the way it is. Interestingly enough though, the Las Plagas, which are the enemy of Resident Evil 4, it's not zombies, it's a combination of bloody insects and humans. That combination, that enemy was far more difficult as I was playing through the game, because not only they were harder to kill, they were just a lot of tougher. They were tougher, they could do a lot more damage, there were a lot of them. When I was fighting the bosses, I rarely had to play against other mobs. Actually, I never had to play against other mobs. I only had to deal with the boss itself, not extra mobs. Only on a few bosses there was something extra, but you could skip it, so it doesn't really matter. Now, when I decided to start professional mode, a friend told me you should do that with knife only, and I said, why should I do that? It's professional mode, and I should make the most out of it, you know? I wanted to make the most out of it and have my guns, have everything ready, and that's how it is. I don't really care about these single solo achievements challenges actually, that you put yourself in order to make the game more harder than it should be, and maybe more enjoyable. For me, it's not enjoyable to do a knife only challenge. When I was playing through that game, I actually thought I maybe should have done that. I maybe should have gone and said, you know what, I'm gonna do the knife only challenge, because then it might have been a bit harder. The game itself, up until the island level, is extremely easy. I never had to worry about ammo. Worrying about ammo is a trademark of all Resident Evil games. I remember Resident Evil 3, Resident Evil Code Veronica X, and all those fantastic games. I always had to worry about my bullets running out. I'm like, oh my god, now how can I kill the bloody zombies? And yeah, that, not a problem. Absolutely not a freaking problem until I reached the island. When I reached the island, the game had shifted to a much more difficult pace and all that. But I ask you this, if you play the entire game that's already on hard mode, and you have to wait to play at least 5 to 6 hours approximately in order to reach that final level, only then will the game be truly difficult? That's disappointing, to say the least. All the bosses, with exception of two bosses, there were two bosses that were really hard and I enjoyed doing them. All the bosses, even the final boss, was extremely easy. I did cheese a bit on the final boss because I was done with it. I didn't enjoy myself after I beat the boss before that, which is Krauser. I just said, yeah, it won't get as hard, as difficult, as enjoyable as this. So I cheesed the boss and I used the mine gun, I can't remember, the mine thrower, yeah. I used the mine thrower just to quickly kill him off and finish the game, because that's all I needed now. I just needed to complete the game, get the last achievement, and be done with it. And that's what I did. The final boss can be hard, to mechanics-wise, because basically you have to inflict enough damage to it in order to get stunned, that's the appropriate term, in order for Leon actually to jump into that bloody creature and take one of the eyes out. Once you have taken enough eyes out, Aja Wong, which is the other female, not protagonist, the female support, I should say, that Leon has throughout the game, throws you a special rocket launcher and then boom! Classic Resident Evil ending. The boss dies with a bloody rocket launcher. Every Resident Evil game, that rocket launcher is always there. Never misses out. But here's the thing. I could make it harder for myself by doing the knife challenge, but I deemed it at the time I shouldn't do it. It shouldn't be that easy. It shouldn't be, like, I don't have to enjoy myself by doing necessarily, making the game necessarily harder than it already is. And I should have, in hindsight, although I'm not gonna do it anytime soon at least. But if you guys want to see actually a walkthrough of Resident Evil 4 made by me with the knife only challenge, please leave a message. If enough people want that, if I might just do it, just for the lols. Or ask Mayor to do it. He's hate that game, so he's not gonna do it. So haha, that's gonna be fun. But anyways, the boss that I enjoyed the most was Krauser. Definitely Krauser. Best boss I've ever played in Resident Evil 4, and general Resident Evil games. He's one of really enjoyable boss. I loved him. He's fast. He does a lot of damage. He has a lot of mechanics. He has that annoying quick button sequence thing, which I hate in Resident Evil 4. Don't get me wrong, I like some of those things, but in Resident Evil 4 it didn't feel right. I didn't need that. They tried to make something completely different in Resident Evil 4. I like how they changed the controls of the game itself, but this quick button thingy just plain out destroyed it. That's the way it is. Now, Krauser, one of the hardest boss. First, I can honestly say that I died a lot of times in that boss, by the way. I tried first just doing normal damage, shoot at the legs, then shoot with the magnum, or the shotgun, or use some grenades. Nothing really worked. And then I said myself, I started thinking like, how the hell can I defeat this boss? How the hell can I do it, you know? And then I remember that Krauser, ever since he appeared, he was obsessed with knives, and even the previous battle, so to speak, with Leon did include knives. I said, you know what? What if I use the knife? It is a knife only challenge some people are doing, so it might be possible to do it. Then I found out that the knife does a shit ton more damage than even the broken butterfly. I was like, what? Maybe it's a mechanic that they put in for you to think and try and attempt to do so. It's really dangerous, and I loved it. So when I figure out what does the most damage, I used that, of course, and went on and defeated Krauser. When I defeated Krauser, I consider this the biggest thing in Resident Evil 4. Even finishing the game on hard mode, getting all bottle caps, getting all achievements, they don't matter compared to Krauser. That Krauser kill, it was fucking fantastic. I loved every second of it. When he went down, like, yes, finally, I beat Krauser. I died like 10 times before I actually managed to kill him, and I enjoyed it so bloody much. All in all, professional mode, Resident Evil, disappointing. The mobs, the Las Plagas, they are far more interesting and deadly than most bosses, except Krauser. And the previous one, which I cannot remember the name, they called it It for some reason. Like it's the It from the Thing or something like that. But yeah, those two bosses, they're the only bosses that I really had a problem with, had a challenge in professional mode. Now, I know Resident Evil is a really old game. It's more than 10 years old actually. And I shouldn't be too critical or too cynical about it. But when I replayed it on professional mode, I expected more, just to, I wanted more. I wanted to play on hard, and it wasn't hard. It was slightly harder than normal. The only times that I really pushed myself was with Krauser, and the exact next level after that, which is basically all those Las Plagas coming at you. They have bloody machine guns, and they just storm you. Not because I couldn't do it, because I had very few bullets left, and I had no health because I used them all on the previous fight with Krauser, and I couldn't heal myself in order to get through the game. And with no bullets, you can't do much in any Resident Evil game, actually. But all in all, I enjoyed my time with Resident Evil 4, and I really want to start playing this franchise again from the very beginning. If I can, I will start doing that on the PlayStation 1 discs, because let's face it, that's the original Resident Evil. Of course, if I can, I will play them, or replay them actually, on the PC port, the PC version, the remastered version, whatever the hell I call that now, I don't care. I will try and play them as well. I have a lot more games to play, and for you guys to watch. I will be doing a lot of gaming talks and game bosses in the future, so please subscribe to the channel to see that content coming up, and support the channel. Thank you for doing that if you're already doing it. And like this video if you liked it, if you enjoyed me rambling about Resident Evil 4. And like I said before, I will be doing a lot more stuff. Especially guys, whatever you enjoy, just leave a message in the comment section or send me an email at the address you can find below, and I will work on it. I will really work on the videos that you guys enjoy, and maybe I enjoy as well, and maybe we can have a good time about it. That's all I'm trying to make here. Make a community, make some games, game footage and all that, and have some fun. That's all there is to it. Alright guys, I'm gonna cut this short. This was Warcrow, and I'm signing out. See ya!